Okay, so it's been a couple of weeks, but to recap, you guys have found this found. Journey's character Jonas has been basically working on this map of the Carina Nebula, which has some interesting spots kind of overlaid on top of it. And I can pull up a handout because I am just that cool. On visiting one of these points, you, oops. Oh wow, I can click that and get a bigger image. That's cool. I did not know that. Sorry, just learned something new about Roll20. uh, on a visit to one of these points, you guys encountered a massive piece of a derelict station or derelict ship. You're not entirely sure. Uh, it generated a Tychon's Rift at first, and then generated a subspace nullification field to, kind of as defenses of some sort, you think, perhaps? Uh, but by beaming over to the derelict, the Dauntless crew was able to handle that, disarm it, and take care of it, and download some data, although what you guys... Well, I will actually start us there. Uh, and you guys want to start in the bridge, in the ready room? How do you want to do this?
What are we doing?
Um, you know what? I guess I'll start you in the conference room. Uh, with
Whatever
because
you're doing, by the way. Oh, okay.
yeah, whatever I'm doing,
You said there was a handout that was supposed to pop up. I didn't see
I
it.
no, it only popped up on my screen. Hang on, I can. If I hit show to players, it should pop up on you guys' screens. Yes.
Sure.
I mean, when you hit it for me, it popped up.
Is it this derelict log? Is that it?
That could be it as well. Let me pull that up for the rest of you guys.
Yep. There we go. I can see that. Uh.
So this is some of the information that is being uh, that that I'm going to say uh, Bianca probably would have called a meeting at some point. Possibly on request of Placaire, who is the ship's newly assigned uh, anthropologist, xenoanthropologist, as well as Shiana's partner at the moment.
Yeah.
Nice.
So Placaire.
Also, oh, there's.
Oh, go ahead.
No. It's
Oh, okay. Placaire says, aside from this, unfortunately, almost all of the data was corrupted. We do have this entry, and we do have diagrams indicating that the original structure was far larger in scale.
I also managed to collect a exosuit of some sort, and I'm planning on examining it and seeing if I can collect any biological data that remains inside of it.
I can also say that through listening, it belongs to our timeline, but at the same time, that doesn't make any sense. It fits, but it's not supposed to.
That is very long start date. How far into the future is that from?
About 2,000 years, Captain.
Great, more time travel shit.
There's something temporal about this nebula. Seems like we can't get away from temporal anomalies in this region of space.
At first, I thought it was due to my pre-integrated appearance, but I don't think that's the case anymore.
There is more, Captain. I had Catalea trace back the path of this derelict and the planet that it was found near. Given their trajectories, plotting back approximately 100 light years puts it in the path near an M-class star with an M-class world.
Bring it up on screen.
Janice is very curious whether or not this overlays with any of the planets they found in the.
Uh, this is from long range scans. We would have to get into the system given this interference from the nebula in order to get anything more substantial than just kind of visual.
Still, it's odd, and I have to wonder if it has to do with the individual known as the Doctor. I've brought that up before, but that rift in chasm or whatever it was that he called it, it was bleeding through everything.
Is it possible to pull up a where they track this planet to and overlay it with the map that I created, and see if it matches any of the broken gems that I have?
It is possible to do that. In fact, uh, given the location of this planet, yes, in fact, if I pull this hand up back out, uh, there's a white dot that's on the top right, just immediately to the right of a large red star.
We still can't see the hand.
Ugh, stupid thing. Let me make sure it's actually visible to everybody. That would be the problem. How's that?
There we go! Yay, we're good.
Okay. So
Okay.
up and a little bit to the right of the blue of the cyan reticle there.
Is it the white? The
Yes.
Okay, cool. So it is one of the planets. That's good to know.
Well, it looks like we've got our next destination to check out.
I just wish we understood the nature of these things and the nature of that video.
Well, we can definitely get someone on it, analyzing the data. But we're here to explore, so let's explore.
All right, Captain. Do you want me to set the heading that way?
Go ahead.
All right. Let's do the first roll of the evening then. This will be
Yay!
Control Con. The Dauntless will roll Structure Con. Difficulty is going to be 1. Okay, 2 successes. Who's got Dauntless?
I can get Dauntless. Let
Okie
me
dokie.
open our character sheet. Engines Con?
Structure Con.
Okay. Same stats, but we'll do it right.
2 successes from Dauntless. All right. So it puts you guys at 3 momentum, and the course is laid in.
Engage.
Engaging Captain.
Okay. And just like that, the Dauntless turns about and goes into warp. Given the distance, it's going to be a few days until the Dauntless arrives, which gives you guys some time to do a couple of things. Steph, you had mentioned Dali wanted to check out the environmental suit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it possible if I could aid her on that?
How so?
Um, if there's any like engineering functions, I have the ancient technology focus that might be able to help.
Okay. Um, you know what? For role-playing purposes, we could have you down there anyway.
Sure.
Let me find the sick bay. There we go. Okay, so Dali, what's your plan?
Well, I assume we took like a full scan of the suit.
You did, and you brought the suit with you as well, if I recall correctly.
Yes, we did. But like I'm saying like a scan of like the materials it's made of and
Yes,
like how it functions and all of that.
yes.
Yeah.
The suit is made of a. Oh shoot, I can't remember what it was called. It's made of a polyphobic metamaterial, which is similar to some experimental technologies you've seen from Starfleet, but nothing that was in production as of 2410.
Okay. And it's the correct height for like a humanoid, you said.
Yes, correct height for most of the humanoid species in Starfleet.
Okay. Does it have any specific like tech attached to it?
Just the tech that would be required to work in an airless zero-G environment. So it's got magnetic boots. Uh, there's not been apparently not that much improvement in that technology over the last few centuries, over the last however old this suit is.
Millennia.
Right. However, far in the future this suit came from. Uh, also, micro thrusters attached to the suit for maneuvering in
Ooh.
zero G.
I'm gonna have Jonas look at those because I'm sure he would like to play with them.
Okay.
Oh yes, Jonas is all over the micro thrusters. Ooh,
Um,
what is powering these? How do they work?
Can I make my own?
yeah, right.
I would like a jetpack, please.
Oh, Jonas would love a jetpack, please.
Uh, all right. So Jonas, give me a reason engineering roll. Your ancient technology focus will apply because technically this technology is 100,000 years old, and I feel like giving you guys that advantage. The difficulty here, because Starfleet, it's Starfleet, however, it is very advanced, so I'm going to set the difficulty at 2.
Okay. All right. If it's okay with everyone else, I'd just like to grab a momentum for an extra dice.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have a question.
Yeah,
Would my flight controller talent come into play for this, since it's related to propulsion or flight?
let's see what the flight controller talent does. Um,
Oh no, it says to repair
no,
technology.
it says
Never
to
mind.
analyze or repair. So yes, you can use your con score here.
Sweet. So now I get cautious con. Yay!
Yeah, nicely done. Good use
What's
of your
the
talent too.
What's the complication range?
Complication range is normal, so it's 1. And
Oh
4
wait.
successes. Nicely done.
Yay!
All right. Um, the power supply appears to be exhausted now. However, it was basically a microfusion generator that was attached to the back of the suit.
Okay. How
That
dangerous is
seems.
that?
Yeah, that seems awfully rare.
I would say no more dangerous than, say, the fusion reactor that powers like a Type 8 shuttle.
Yeah, but downside?
Significantly downsized. And using some technology that, frankly, you are reasonably sure Starfleet couldn't replicate if it wanted to.
This is surprisingly out of my field.
You did take genetic scans during the last episode, however, if you'll recall,
Yes.
and were able to actually get a small sample.
Ooh, what did I learn?
Okay, having brought it into sickbay for analysis, I will let you do a reason medicine roll or reason
Thank
science.
you. Science. It's
Okay.
funny that you think that's my talent.
Xenobiology focus will apply, and Dauntless can assist with computers medicine.
May I take a extra? May I take a momentum for an extra?
Yeah.
Okay, 3 successes and a complication from
Ooh.
Dauntless.
Do we want to scrub that?
Uh, I'm just going to bank that as momentum.
Okay.
Did I tell you what the difficulty was going to be on that roll? I don't feel like I did.
You didn't. I got
Okay.
excited and I rolled.
No, it's fine. Uh, I'll call it difficulty 2 then, and I'll give you guys that'll give you guys the momentum back. The DNA sample has significantly degraded over time, as one might expect from
Yeah,
100,000 years
obvious.
of exposure to the elements. However, even with that, you recover enough genetic markers to indicate a 99.4% probability that the individual who used this suit was Fellathrix. Say that
I'm
again?
just gonna like. No, 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 no. I'm just gonna like look up from like the little monitor that I've been reading this off of
Mm-hmm.
with like just kind of like an odd look on like like odd as an AWE like
Yeah.
look on my face and look to Jonas, who is probably like fiddling with a laser uh, thing over in the corner. And
Yeah.
Lieutenant Cardin,
Yes.
uh, and I'm just gonna like do the like pinch and throw thing so he can see the
So you can see the what?
Oh.
the hologram of the like display.
Gotcha.
I'm
Oh.
not certain if you're familiar with genetics, but
That is very interesting.
The computer readout has a summary down in the bottom right-hand corner, like uh conclusion 99% probability of Felifrix origin.
Okay, that's very interesting.
indeed,
As a quick reminder, who are the Thelothrix?
they're the ones that we are in the system of, who the like cat people.
Kind of, yeah. They're the first
Yeah,
one of the first races that the Dauntless encountered in the Carina Nebula, and they are currently in negotiations for to apply for Federation membership.
yeah, the ones whose first warp flight that we got to witness.
Oh, that's right. And this is saying that this is giving us a bit of information that 100,000 years from now, they're actually a part of the Federation.
Yep.
Or 4,000 years
This,
from now, as it were.
Yeah.
Jonas is
Or
just going to
2,000.
stare at it.
Sorry.
No, you're okay. Jonas is going to stare at it, and it belongs here, but it shouldn't, and it makes no sense.
Hold on, I just need to read what the log said again.
Okay.
Uh, I wonder. The log said that they were trying to hold something off.
Yeah, and that they launched their ships. And something was firing asteroids.
We don't
But
know. I mean, clearly it was a Starfleet. It wasn't a Felithrix only organization.
yes, but also it's the end of that message that has me curious because it says ships coming through soon. What were they coming through?
Were they sending them back through some sort of temporal gate? Were they being invaded by something and attempting to escape?
That's what it sounds like. If someone's throwing asteroids at you, you attempting to escape would be the logical conclusion.
Do you think that they attempted to escape through some sort of temporal anomaly and it fractured them?
Is it? I have a very unusual question about my listening ability.
Okay.
Is it possible to glean any information like that while trying to listen to this suit?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to figure
No,
that
that's
out.
that's fine. Like that would be going basically into psychometry, and that's as gifted as the Alarians are, I've never seen that manifest in them.
Okay, no, that's fine. All right.
Sorry, go ahead. Uh, the Felithrix were oppressed, right?
Yes, about 500 or 600 years ago, they were occupied by the Zealand. They threw off the Zealand occupation, and that was their last contact with any alien species until they met the Federation.
Has there been any conversation between the Zealand and Starfleet?
Limited. Uh, Starfleet has Dauntless has been at the forefront of most of Starfleet's communications with the Zealand, and they've been rather tight-lipped, for lack of a better word.
Mm-hmm.
We've
Um.
had we've talked with them, and we've also had skirmishes with them. So
Okay. According to the Felithrix, why were they oppressed?
Their planet was occupied by the Zealand. They were made to. They were basically made slave laborers.
it's basically
Okay.
like the Cardassian occupation of Bajor.
Okay, so it was the Felithrix planet, and then the Zealand came in.
Correct.
It was okay. Um, has that been corroborated by this?
I feel like it was back in near the
Okay.
very beginning. The Zealand tried to make a play to re-enter the Felifric system, and the Dauntless kind of showed them the error of their ways.
Okay, that's okay. That doesn't really change.
By showing them the error of their ways, we gave them a bloody nose and towed them back to the Zealand home system.
Or a Zealand
uh,
system. The Zealand home system is still not in Federation star charts.
Well, the nearest Zealand
Yeah.
system.
that being said, it still doesn't really change my thought. I'm gonna look to Jonas. Perhaps this might sound odd, but perhaps the Felithrix are temporal refugees?
Hmm. I mean, it's possible, but I would have. If they were temporal refugees, I believe I should have gotten some sort of read. At least something, because I can always tell.
Have you listened to the entire planet?
Oh no, it's not even really listening. I can just tell sometimes when people are out of alignment with the timeline.
Oh,
Like when I first met you, I knew you weren't part of our timeline.
right. Um, hmm. Well, that eliminates one of my theories, but
Though I wouldn't discard it too quickly. Maybe they've grown so accustomed, maybe over time they have simply forgotten and believe they are actually a part of this galaxy and universe. So it could be
or
a thing, it might not be a thing.
or their ancestors were, and they grew from that.
Hmm. I mean, we're in a completely, well, not uncharted anymore per se, but we're still in an unknown area of the galaxy. There's no way of knowing anything really until we find out.
It's just so strange. I mean, I had no reason to be pulled here, and I was. And I came in this nebula.
Maybe this nebula is just a beacon for unusual and strange time shenanigans.
I believe Lieutenant Commander Darrow would make an expletive at this point.
I'm not there with you guys, am I?
No,
If you wanted
I'm
to
just,
be, you could.
Oh, I was
Like
like,
that could be
no.
the very moment you walk into sick
I'm
bay.
sitting here listening as a player going, oh my gosh, all of this stuff would be freaking Shiana out. So it's a good thing she's not there.
No, like that's why I'm saying it's like
Yeah.
like Dolly's joke is like Shiana would be like swearing blue right
Totes true.
If she were here, I could add a few more words to the swear words that I never thought I would know.
Oh wow, Shiana's legendary. Okay.
now. I wish we had more information, and I think we'll probably gather more once we arrive at this M-class planet. But
I hope so. I'm very curious about it.
do you think it would be possible? It would be rather impossible, but I wonder if your vision or whatever it is might be trying to tell us to piece everything back together.
That's a very interesting way of looking at it. It might be.
I'm attempting to delve into philosophical and metaphysical reasonings.
You're not doing too bad so far.
Well, I've been reading some books.
If you're interested, I do have some Bajoran works on things that might interest you if you are reading up on that.
Uh,
She's got this book called Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance in in her quarters, and she has no idea why.
No, don't! Rude. Um, she like looks at you and then like looks away and like kind of hurriedly like looks down, like kind of like at a monitor and just starts like poking it and like doesn't really say anything.
Daphne, are you alright?
Yes, I would be interested in.
Alright. So next time we're both not busy discovering new things about this nebula, drop by my quarters and I'll share some books with you.
Very well.
I'm gonna head back up to the bridge and check on our flight path and see if there's anything I can do.
Okay.
Are you
Would
okay
you
down here?
would you mind delivering this report to the captain?
Not at all.
As soon as he leaves the room, Dahli just goes, stupid, 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 and like walks into their office.
Does anyone else have anything that they want to do between this and arriving at the M-class planet? Because if not, I'm going to do a scene change.
Sarah might, but I'm.
Okay. Well then, we will go ahead and do the scene change.
That works.
Okay, so arriving at the edge of the system, Catalev does a quick scan. If someone would like to roll for Dauntless.
What we rolling?
Sensor science. So the difficulty here is going to be 2. 2. Normally I would deduct 1 for the Dauntless's sensors, advanced sensors, but the Carina Nebula's interference balances that out. That being said, Cadillac may have the roll, so anything Dauntless does will be bonus momentum. There it is. Okay. Um, signs of civilization on the M-class planet. Roughly equivalent to 20th century level or 20th century Earth in a technological development. Satellites in orbit around the world. There are delving through some of the communications and some of the planetary databases reveals that there are 2 main factions on the world. And Plaquer is going to start delving into that data.
Sexy Klingon science. Shiana just like marveling, like chin on the top of her console, like
Is she?
Basically, yeah, like, hi. No, Shanna's
Aw.
doing scans of her own.
What is Shiana scanning for?
Oh, the usual stuff Shanna scans for.
Okay,
You
I do.
weapons.
Give me a reason. Oh, uh, reason security roll. The difficulty here is 2. The Dauntless will assist with sensor security.
Sorry, y'all. I had to go to the little captain's room.
That's okay. We're at the M-class planet and doing scans of all the things.
Awesome. What do we have?
And the ship bungled it again.
The ship bungled it again.
it's
But
the
Shanna
nebula.
got it, so whatever.
But you did make the difficulty. What I can tell you is that despite the fact that the technology is equivalent to 20th century Earth, there is a high military buildup, roughly equivalent to Earth's Cold War.
Nuclear or equivalent weapons involved?
Yes.
Okay.
And
Are we talking anything that they could launch into space?
probably nothing that would launch into space unless it were aimed like toward the other side of the planet. In other words, they do have ICBM capability.
That was the term I was looking for. Ah,
Yeah.
yes, that one.
Also, their militaries appear to be at high alert from the readouts from what you're seeing of their tactical deployments or their strategic deployments rather.
Have they detected Dauntless?
No indication that they have. And back in the 1980s, the U.S. and the Soviet Union wouldn't really have had the technology to locate a new object in geosynchronous orbit.
Yeah,
Guys, I just got
Bianca's
Major
still
Hunt for
gonna.
Red October vibes, and I'm like so happy.
Right. Bianca's definitely going to suggest high geosynchronous orbit just to be cautious.
Do what now?
Bianca's going to suggest high geosynchronous orbit just to be cautious.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit above geo.
Yeah.
Okay. The good news is super synchronous orbit is not populated at all, so no risk of running into any of these satellites that the 2 primary powers on the planet have placed into orbit. On that note, I'm going to have Plaquer do a roll. And that'll give you guys a momentum.
Oh, that's my girl.
She says, given the brief scan through their cultural database, They call themselves the Inosians. As Shiana's scans have pointed out, they are in a very ready for war stance, but have probably held off due to the nuclear deterrent that posed by the other.
So mutually assured destruction.
Yes.
So this is kind of like a 2 minutes to midnight type of situation.
This is a situation in which a Klingon warrior would find no honor, she says kind of drolly.
Question for you, Don.
Yeah.
Is there a way to take medical scans using Dauntless scanner?
What would you be looking for?
Just basic health and welfare of the citizens, like kind of a science scan, but more biologically focused to see if like genetic makeup, like what their like potential sexes are, um,
Potential what? Sorry.
sexes,
Gotcha.
potential like uh, detrimental like diseases, that kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah, this is it's still going to be reason science, but a xenobiology focus would apply, and
Okay.
Catalea can assist with your scan. Dauntless will roll sensor science.
Wow.
Okay, no
Dauntless
need
will
for
roll
Dauntless to roll.
nothing.
Nope.
17 and an 18. Wow.
Better than 220s, am I right?
Nope. It's cool. They're a planet. It's fine.
They're a planet. Even with 0 successes, you are able to determine a couple of basic facts, like 3 basic genders, or 3 biological sexes, apparently, based on the information that you have been able to basically glean from their broadcasts and their databases. Not much information on their. You're not able to glean much information on their health. Some of the media broadcasts on the planet's surface indicate concerns about pollution,
Mm-hmm. But there's
sexually
no like.
transmitted diseases, some of the same things that Earth dealt with in its 20th century.
Okay, but there's no evidence of like radiation poisoning anywhere on the planet or anything like that.
No evidence that you would find with 0 successes on the roll.
Cool.
Are there any?
Oh, which brings me back to my security scan.
Yes.
Like I would have detected if there had actually been any nuclear detonations. Correct?
You would, and there have not. That being said, from the original science scan, radiation levels in the system are a little higher than what you would expect, but that may just be due to the planet's proximity to its star. Its orbit is only about 15 million kilometers out, or 1/10 of Earth's distance from the sun.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
From the fact that we traced the giant ship slash whatever it was to this planet,
To the system.
does this to this system? Oh, to this system. Okay, sorry, I
Yes.
thought it was to this planet.
No worries.
Looking at this planet, does Jonas feel like whether or not it belongs in this time? Like the people, the structures, do they belong or do they not belong?
You don't feel anything out of the ordinary.
Okay.
Are there any insights Bianca is able to glean just from looking at their cultural touchstones? Because because Tom was very much into Earth during this type of like evolution. This period of its evolution.
Yeah. This planet is much more religious than Earth was during the similar phase of its technological development. There are also signs that this culture has been around a lot longer than humanity was by the time it had achieved that technology level.
Okay, I have a question
In other
about.
words, 6,000 years basically encompasses almost all of human history up to the 20th century. But from what you can tell, Inosian culture goes back several more millennia.
In our track back of the trajectory of the derelict, it had to have been that they were in this system in our timeline, correct? That's the only way we would have been able to trace them back.
Yes, the system is supposed to be in the timeline, if that makes sense, or at least has been in the timeline.
No, so like the derelict in this timeline was in this system,
Uh,
as I guess is what I'm asking.
Likely passed through.
Or were we, or did we, okay, so pass through. Because I'm just trying to figure out if we
Okay,
did a reverse
when did the
trajectory,
derelict?
like,
I'm confused. When did the derelict pass through the system?
Rough from your best guesses, anywhere between 80 and 120,000 years ago.
Okay.
And in that time, it traveled close to 100 light years.
okay, so there's no way that this civilization could have been impacted by the derelict.
That is a significantly more complicated question that you guys are going to have to dig to find an answer.
Okay. So here's Shiana in character.
Okay.
To pluck hair. Is there any way that the derelict had any impact on this civilization or this system at all, passing through 100,000 years ago?
Are you asking anyone in particular? Are you asking me or
Pluck hair.
Okay.
Pluck hair.
oh, Placaire? Um, we would need to know precisely how old their civilization is. And while I'm able
By your
to,
best
my best
by your
guess,
best guess, is there any overlap?
let's see what she can do here. I'm going to make this difficulty 3. But do you guys want her to take a momentum?
Please.
Sure. Yeah, go for it.
Holy shit.
Okay.
Y'all, I told you.
Based on the trajectory of the planet and the derelict fragment, Shanna, if I didn't know better, I would say this derelict fragment was moving fast enough to rip the planet out of the system. If their civilization was around for that, they would have been impacted for sure.
Sounds like we need to gather some more data on that civilization. Their lore, their religion, anything you can find, however far back you can go.
I'll need Cataly's help, and we'll need to be careful. I can go intrusive, but that raises the chance that they'll detect someone hacking into their systems. And given their military readiness stage, they may not take too kindly to that.
No, of course not.
Let's not risk that just yet.
I'll
And
continue monitoring then.
if we needed, I could try and listen to figure out if anything major happened along their timeline.
Good idea.
If you want to do that, given how long ago it would have occurred, it's going to be
Mm-hmm.
difficulty 4.
Ooh. Let, mm, if I did, mm, you know what? I'd like to at least attempt it.
Okay,
All right. What would I be rolling?
I'm going to call this reason command.
Okay. Um, is it possible for me to burn a determination for this? Because I'd be very interested in seeing this go through.
What value do you be calling upon?
Not everything can be learned in a school.
Yeah, that's the one that would apply. Okay, so that gives you 2 automatic successes. Go ahead and make your roll whenever you're ready. Are you still, are
And
you,
if
I'm sorry, go ahead.
uh, would my attunement or my temporal mechanics focuses apply?
One of them will apply.
Okay, and if it's okay with everyone, may I grab a extra dice from the pool?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Okie
Okay,
dokie.
4 successes.
Hey, you did it!
Okay,
Yay!
so given the mechanics, I may have forgotten the question itself.
The question that I had was, did anything along the question about the giant ship coming by
hmm
and it would have destroyed the planet or knocked it out of rotation, did anything hugely significant like that happen along their timeline at any point?
You kind of you close your eyes and concentrate, and there was a significant event that happened in the system roughly 100,000 years ago. Uh, it did not directly affect this world. It didn't affect the Inoceans directly, but it definitely affected the system.
Okay, is it possible at all to try and focus more on that event and figure out what it was?
Um, if Yeah, if you want to spend a momentum, I can do that for you. It'll
Yeah, sure. How much
basically
momentum would
doing
it be?
what's that?
How much momentum would it be?
Just one. It's an obtain information spend, basically.
Oh, sure. Cool. I'll do that.
Okay, so delving further in, attempting to kind of divine the nature of the event, uh, a massive object, uh, that traveled through the system at close to the speed of light. Because of its velocity, it was even enormously massive. Enough so that it by making a close pass toward the Class D planet that was on the outer edge of the system, it ripped it out of the system entirely. Now, doing that drained a lot of the energy from that fragment, but the fragment and the planet still proceeded out of the system at a significant fraction of the speed of light, probably a one thousandth of 1%, or 100th of 1% rather.
Okay, I will relay all of that information to the entire bridge crew, or the captain and everyone who's listening.
There is an asteroid belt on the outer edges of the system, um, where where that planet may have once been, where some of it was just left behind from the shearing force of the frame dragging.
Okay, that's interesting. Captain, there might be leftovers or remains of what happened in the asteroid belt. It might be something worth checking out.
And Bianca nods over her shoulder to Catalina and she goes, "Get a scan of the asteroid belt."
Scanning, Captain. Alright, I'm gonna call this difficulty 2 if someone wants to roll for the ship.
Someone else roll for the ship. I am rolling really poorly for the ship.
Sarah, roll for, or not Sarah, Kate,
Sensor
roll for the ship.
science.
Sensor science.
All right.
2 successes from the ship. Nicely done.
That's where those zeros were coming from.
Okay. Um, the sensor readings from the asteroids match the sensor readings from the Class D planet. It's the same material composition.
So they are remnants.
They are.
Are there any remnants of any piece of the derelict?
No.
What does this tell us about the derelict and why it's so old and why the spacesuits on board are from the future, so far into the future? Makes no sense.
Um, is it possible while everyone's talking to, with the listening that I'd done, try and extrapolate a new course from which the giant station came from?
I see what you're thinking. Yeah. Um, yes. If you want to make a reason con roll, the difficulty again will be here will be 3.
Okay.
But if she wants,
Uh
Bianca could assist.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I can do that.
making that will make it a lot easier. All right. Can I grab a dice just for cautious?
Yes. I
What would I be
guess.
assisting with?
What's that? Reason
What
con.
what what reason con?
And my astro navigation would come into play here, folks.
Yes, most definitely.
Ack.
Okay, so with 3 successes, you are able to determine it would have been following a parabolic path prior to entering the system. Uh, it's it doesn't intersect through, well, no, it doesn't intersect through any of the points on the map, however. Uh, that being said, Jonas, recalling your own vision, it might intersect with where the sphere was that exploded into the nebula in the first place.
Do I know where the sphere exploded into the nebula?
Not precisely, but it would have been somewhere probably close to. Uh, there's a yellow-white star just to the right of the cyan reticle on the handout. It probably would have been somewhere in that general vicinity.
Okay. I'm gonna make a note of that and then walk the datapad over to the captain. This is a new trajectory from the station or whatever it is that we came across.
And based on the velocity on that trajectory, you estimate it would have crossed those intervening light years in almost the speed of light. In other words, it was traveling much slower after it came through this system than it was before it came through.
Mm.
Hmm.
I'll relay that as
Why don't we follow the course?
I'm going to burn 2 threat. Uh, as you say that, Bianca, the uh, the exterior lighting brightens substantially
What exterior light?
by a factor of about 10. The lighting from the
What
star,
the lighting for what?
the light from the star.
Oh, what was that?
Scanning, Captain.
did anything. I was about to say, did anything go off for Jonas just then?
No.
Okay, making sure.
Someone roll sensor science for the Dauntless.
We'll do.
A flare and a coronal mass ejection from the star, Captain.
Impact.
96 seconds.
Shields up.
Not operational within the nebula.
I'll
Oh.
go in evasive maneuvers instantly.
However, we could polarize the hull. That would negate most of the effect.
Do it
Polarize the whole
now.
place.
So I heard Sheehan. I did not hear Bianca.
Polarize the whole plating.
Done. Uh, and the you guys kind of hear almost a rain like sound effect as particles from the solar corona beat the Dauntless's exterior hull. Uh, the polarized hull plating is repelling most of it because these particles are electrically charged. Um, the day side of the planet is also being hit.
Yeah, this is gonna be bad for them.
Yeah, that was what I was going to be asking about next. Effect on the planet.
Uh, Satellite systems being knocked offline. Electromagnetic pulse on the planet's surface.
Source.
The star.
No, I meant, what about the electromagnetic pulse on the surface? What about it?
It's it's the the coronal ejection from the star has created an EMP across the entire day side of the planet, Captain.
Oh my god.
That is troubling. Their weapons may go off prematurely without control.
Or that's it's more likely that they'll think they're being attacked and launch prematurely.
Either way, something is about to happen and it's not going to end well.
Shanna, give me
Is
a
there any way for us to gauge how often this happens with this star?
um. Immediately speaking, the star doesn't appear to be like. Okay, so for background, a lot of M-class stars are what's called flare stars. They have solar flares just like our sun does, except the flares are much brighter in comparison to the star itself, because the flare is the same brightness as it would be from our sun, but the star itself is a lot dimmer. Uh, this star in particular would have had to be quiet long enough for this civilization to develop the technology it has. That being said, there's no guarantee it hasn't been a flare star in the past.
I think what I'm wondering is a pattern of this star flaring up the reason that this civilization has existed for so long and only progressed to this point?
Given the evidence, that is a very reasonable assumption. That being said, though, I'm going to have you do a reason security roll with the Dauntless assisting. Difficulty is 2. Who's got Dauntless?
I've got Dauntless. Sensor security.
Correct.
I'm scared to roll for Dauntless.
Aw.
Well, I am too now. So
Aw. You guys made the difficulty.
Oh,
Uh,
Do we want to get rid of that?
Yeah,
okay.
let's burn that.
We'll get rid of that.
Okay. Shiana, as you guys are kind of discussing like what is going on, you detect multiple signs of activity from the planet's surface.
Yep.
Multiple missile launches.
to which I alert the captain. Captain, multiple ICBM launches from the surface.
Jonas goes immediately pale
Target?
because he's about to feel a whole lot of death.
Yep.
what are the targets?
Targets are these are launching from the faction known as the Greens. There are 2 factions on the planet, which Pluckier has named the Greens and the Reds. Actually, no, it's coming from the Reds. They are launching what looks to be their entire arsenal towards target locations on the green side of the planet.
So hold on one second. Who suffered from the solar flare impact?
The Reds did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
so they
exactly
lost.
what I said was going to happen.
Yeah, they either lost control or immediately assumed that they were being attacked.
This looks like an assumption of attack.
I'll be right back, guys.
Okie dokie.
And there's nothing we can do because they're a pre-warp civilization.
I was about to
Yep.
make that point.
Indeed.
Crap.
Oh gosh, I feel so sorry for any telepaths or empaths or Elarians on the ship right now.
Yeah. I'm gonna do a thing as soon as Dawn gets back.
Hey, at this point, if they're about to blow each other up, I say we snag as much information on them as possible.
Oh, for dang sure.
They're not going to be caring right now if anyone's hacking into their systems. They're blowing each other up. As cold as it sounds.
Although,
Yes, and I'm mad that I didn't think
if
of
we're going
that.
to be hacking their systems, maybe we should be hacking their missiles.
Oh, are we prime
We're not allowed
directive?
Prime directive.
Oh, wait. Is it still within the bounds of the prime directive if, because this was an accident, they can just fathom that it was something that knocked out the power to their missiles and the missiles just fall harmlessly somewhere?
We would still be interfering.
Give me an
Dang.
insight. Actually, Jonas, since you asked the question, and Bianca, I would like both of you to make insight command rolls. Difficulty
Can I
here.
do some?
Okay.
What's that, Shiana?
No, it was me,
Oh,
but
Steph,
I'll wait
sorry.
till that.
When my diplomacy, inspiration, or combat maneuvers focus apply, or composure.
Your composure will apply here.
Okay.
Would my attunement, temporal mechanics, ancient technology, any of that apply? Okay.
Either of you
What's the
taking momentum?
difficulty?
Difficulty's 3.
How much momentum do
You have 3.
I'll take 1 momentum.
Okay. Hi, Jasmine. Okay. Oh my god.
Jasmine.
That sounds like a small child,
That's
not a cat.
Yeah, she
yeah,
does
she's
that.
lost.
Oh.
Jonas, you recall during Starfleet Academy reading a particular case during which a comet fragment was heading directly for Earth, for the European continent. A Vulcan scout ship that was in orbit diverted it to hit over Russia. That was in the Earth year 1908. Because it was a natural phenomenon, it was not seen to be a violation of the Prime Directive.
Is it possible to extrapolate since this? Is it
Extra
possible to extrapolate?
you could extrapolate from that's that the outcome of a natural phenomenon is is an exemption to the Prime Directive.
I
Now,
will quickly spout that out after you finish
yeah.
talking.
I,
Now that being said, they're given the warlike standpoint of these two factions, it is possible that one might have launched on the other at any point anyway.
while this is happening and like they're talking back and forth, I want to very quickly pull out of my med kit a cortical inhibitor and put on a dampener, like a dampening thing
Mhm.
for aspirating,
Okay.
and put it on Jonas because if bad things are gonna happen, I don't want his brain to explode.
I love that your first concern is Jonas, even though there's a telepath
No,
sitting in the captain's chair.
No,
yep.
no. Bianca would have like swatted her away. Bianca would have swatted her away if that was the case.
It's fine. It's cool.
Sorry,
Give me
don't have a crush on the captain.
control medicine difficulty 1.
Yay!
Nicely rolled. Uh, so you're doing that for Jonas. Shiana, this is about when you read missile launches coming from the other faction. They have launched their retaliation strike.
And I will have shared my information with the captain about remembering the asteroid thing for.
The Greens have launched.
First
Is there
missiles are
any way we can
35
shut down
minutes
both
from
factions'
impact.
missiles? Huh? What?
First missiles are 35 minutes from impact.
Is there any way we can shut them both down?
Who's
Given
got
Lieutenant Cardin's information, is there any way we can shut them all down and make it look like a natural phenomenon?
Or just a power failure?
They would almost certainly know that someone had breached their computer systems if they were to look.
Which might lead to more missile launches.
Exactly. This is the behavior of a very paranoid planet.
Is there any way to make it look like it was a natural occurrence? This is to Catalea.
If we could try to simulate another EMP, but make it look like another stellar flare, but that would only catch the missiles that are on the day side of the planet.
Can't be. Oh no, that would make.
Well, then we would choose who lives and who dies, and we can't do that.
I think, unfortunately, Captain, there is no right answer in this scenario. Either you let the whole civilization die, or you let part of the civilization.
I'm not
Shiana?
here
Or
to
we
play
or
God.
we save
God's
the
an
entire
it.
civilization by shooting down all these damn missiles.
I'm not here to play Goddess in the 48 today.
I know,
Lieutenant
and the
Cardin,
and the prime directive, and I know.
Aye, Captain.
set a course along the same trajectory as the station. There's nothing we can do.
Jonas is gonna take a moment and then he's gonna swallow and nod. Aye, Captain. And he will set a course along the same trajectory path that he mapped out earlier.
Okay. Control Con, difficulty 2. Dauntless can assist with Structure Con.
Who's rolling for Dauntless?
Shiana?
Will do. Is it what structure con?
Structure Con. Course set.
Have this event noted in the ship's log.
Aye, Captain, Catalea says.
Jonas is gonna very quietly take off the cortical inhibitor and uh, hold it in his lap.
Captain, permission to be dismissed.
Granted.
Shanna walks off the bridge.
Placaire just kind of watches her walk out.
And as soon as the doors are closed behind her, Shanna like does that rage scream crouch. We just let an entire planet die.
While Jonas is piloting that way, he will he's not gonna try and block out the planet music dying
'Why do you hurt me?
30 minutes.
because this is just how Jonas is. What would that hold on, Connor, just a moment. What would that feel like for Jonas? Just that happen.
Stick around for another 29 minutes, you'll get to find out.
And then Shanna
Okay.
punches a wall. For effect.
As she do.
Can I look to the captain like for dismissal and then follow?
Bianca just nods.
All right, I'm gonna go after Shannon. After an appropriate amount of time is done, and like I assume walk in on her like doing the "I'm fine, I'm cool" kind of like breathing and tugging on her unit.
Yeah, that's it. That's the thing.
I will just kind of stop. It is my medical obligation to suggest that you speak with Dr. Pierce.
I'm fine. I don't need Dr. Pierce.
Well, be that as it may, there's not much I can do to console you.
Are you okay with this? What we just let happen?
Have you guys left the system?
I mean, yeah, that's kind of what
Okay.
I ordered the ship to do.
Okay. Just making
Yeah,
sure.
that's what. Yeah.
Am I alright with it? No. Was it the necessary action? Yes.
The necessary inaction, you mean, because the prime directive is a steaming pile of. Oh!
And you get this kind, if you look over, you see this kind of impish smirk. I have some of the same thoughts. But this is not my ship.
You are admirably better at containing your thoughts.
Years of training through both Romulan and Borg. I know what it's like to watch a planet die. Several, actually.
And at that, Shanna pauses. Something in her takes another notch down from her, heightened state. And she really looks at Dolly. I am so sorry.
You have nothing to apologize for.
It's an expression of sympathy or empathy. It's not an apology.
I see. Thank you. But I have dealt with that grief. The universe is chaotic and unfair.
People like us are here to make it more fair. I don't think we did that today.
We did not, but that is something that will weigh heavily on all of us in the future. And unfortunately, there are times when I believe the old Earth expression is embrace the suck.
Yes. Well, welcome to the suck. Embrace the suck.
Or as Citroma would say it, embrace the blow.
Which sounds infinitely preferable.
This nebula seems to have a sort of vendetta with time, if an inanimate object could have a vendetta against a theoretical concept.
Is it the theoretical concept of time, though? There was that. The doctor.
Yes, I keep thinking about that. And the vortex.
The derelict and everything about it smacks of our other encounters with him.
It seems like something was pulled from a place it should not have been, or ended up in a place it should not have been, and hit a temporal wall.
So the doctor or Q, or both.
I do not believe the entity known as Q would find this funny enough to do.
Perhaps. But is there a way? And this is like the bronze Shiana trying to like figure out this like the sciencey way to ask this question that is like just on the tip of her tongue, like at the edge of her brain. Is there a way for us to see if the doctor has been here? He had that ship. Doesn't it have a unique signature?
I suppose it would, but I don't remember it.
We would have records.
Fair enough. You would want to get your compatriot to look into that.
With all of these anomalies, I think we have to every option, every avenue, every investigate the temporally anomalous bitchy ass nebula.
You just like see like a slight like head quirk, like an owlish like head quirk, and like a slow shake of the head at the description. I find the way that many people anthropomorphize things amusing. I've
Oh, this
begun
nebula
talking to. Sorry. Go ahead.
bitch for sure, and I say that as a bitch of my own variety. She
But admittedly, I have begun speaking with my replica. I thank it.
Wait, so I missed that. Begun speaking with your what?
My replicator.
Well, that's very polite of you.
I still would not describe it as having a personality.
If you think that a starship doesn't have feelings, you haven't been paying attention.
You just get like a slow eyebrow raise.
Jonas can tell you all about it.
I admittedly have yet to experience the full personality of the Dauntless. Other than it seems to be protective.
Yes. And that is why to come back to Dauntless.
And I'm just gonna like.
No,
Damn it.
I didn't hear part of what Kate said there. That's why what?
Oh, why? Discord, why are you doing this?
Kate, can you hear us?
Oh, we're getting typing.
Okay.
Okay. Why in the middle of all of these important conversations?
Right? Just because Discord gonna Discord, I guess. Okay. Kate, it says you're back, but you are muted. There you go.
Okay.
And also, Sarah, your
Check my
headphones may be acting up because I can.
Why?
Oh no, never mind. I thought you were
I
saying
haven't
something,
been
but
talking, so.
okay, that's fair. Okay, continue, please.
Dauntless's protective nature is why I had to come back to Dauntless. It's why I'm always drawn back.
And it is no doubt why you feel betrayed by the circumstances.
No, and this isn't easy, but move on because that is what we do.
Do
Says
not
this,
hold it.
you can see like the semi doubt, like the thing. It's like she's trying to
Mm-hmm.
convince herself that this is like she'll actually be able to move on because this is what we do.
Dolly is gonna like reach out and put a hand on your arm, like, and just kind of awkwardly like do a pat and like a squeeze and just like jaw like affection accomplished kind of, and like look at you and just, it will get better. It will not be easy, and you will feel emotions, many emotions, but do not hold it against the captain for what she's done.
No, of course not. I have no. This is on. This is on the Federation, on our willingness to sit back and watch civilizations themselves. But those are the rules, and I live by.
I should show you the several drafts of letters I've composed to the Federation and the Daystrom Institute regarding my displeasure at their continued ignorance and failure to aid in rescuing people from the board. But
No,
there is no perfect government.
no, and wisdom says that we have perfect. But I'm glad we're leaving. I don't want to watch a planet die.
I'm gonna switch us back to the bridge. Pluck here says, Captain, a word.
Of course. When I go over to her station.
Uh, in in private.
Join me in my ready room.
Aye, Captain. And let's see. I have a new ready room image, so bear with me one
Ooh.
moment while I actually set it up. Did not have a chance to do that before the game. I apologize.
You're okay.
Bianca's added a couple things uh her ready room. She's added 2 hollow images on her desk.
What are the hollow images?
One of Captain Varric Santiago and one of Captain Christopher Pike.
Literal trophies. I'm kidding.
Why is Bianca the worst?
Oh,
She's
Bianca.
sentimental, okay?
Okay. So she follows you into the ready room. Um, says, Captain, I know it was a difficult decision, but speaking as an anthropologist, I feel it was the right one. If they hadn't done that to themselves today, it would have been 100 years from now, or it would have been another civilization 1,000 years from now.
If there had been a way for me to save both sides, I would have done it. But the thing is I can't save one side while letting the other win.
And even if you had saved both sides, you have no guarantee they wouldn't have done the same thing in the future.
No, would have given him a second chance, though. But, like I said, I'm not here to play the goddess and her daughters today. It's not what I'm out here for. It's not what any of us are out here for.
I was able to record a substantial amount of data on their civilization before we left.
Good. At least it won't be forgotten.
I found this. You might find it of interest, and she hands a pad over to you.
Bianca just kind of looks at it. What does she see?
Stories of legend of from the Inosian religion. They believed in two gods, uh, a god of light and a god of darkness, who neither was necessarily good or evil. Uh, they were just a uh, a duo, as it were, a yin and yang from Confucianism, if you like. Uh, but 100,000 years ago, those gods waged war, and the blood from that war resulted in the nebula, according to their legend. The angels of light won, but in their retreat, the angels of darkness took a star from the Inosian sky.
The planet?
That's my guess, Captain.
Commit the data to the logs.
Aye, aye.
You know, civilizations live and die every day. Doesn't make it any easier to watch it happen.
It's, I always I'm always fascinated reading about other civilizations and dealings with their gods. You know, we killed ours.
In true Klingon fashion.
Indeed. Earth had a period not unlike the Inosians, but but they survived.
Earth survived a nuclear war themselves.
So maybe there's still hope.
It was precisely my thinking when I made the decision. If they're meant to survive, they'll survive.
Um, on that note, Bianca, you feel a thrum, and look to your window just to see Dauntless dropping out of warp.
Bianca just nods to Plaquer and she's like, I'm needed on the bridge.
All hands, yellow alert. I say again, all hands, yellow alert.
And Shiana runs back to the bridge.
Yeah, we're
And
like
as
halfway
Bianca-
down the hallway, and both of us turn.
As Bianca takes the bridge, she goes, report.
What am I reporting?
Just got that star field there for the time being. Uh, there's a cosmic string in the vicinity. We're not at the destination. You guys are not at the destination, but Dauntless basically did an emergency stop.
What's a cosmic string for
A cosmic
myself as the
a cosmic string is like a black hole. It's a theoretical object, though. It's never actually been found. Uh, but it's like a black hole, only with 2 dimensions instead of 1.
Yeah, they're sometimes called cracks in the universe.
Oh good lord, what is Jonas feeling right now?
Right now.
Right, Nar. Nothing out of the ordinary, actually. It's just like if you were in or if you had encountered a black hole. Actually, no, I'll take that back. Give me an insight command. Difficulty
Okie
2.
dokie. My attunement focus would come into play here.
Yes.
If it's okay with everyone, I'm gonna take a dice and momentum for an extra dice.
Okay.
Yeah.
And let's see what we've got. That's the difficulty. Okay. Uh, you get the same feeling from this cosmic string that you got from the piece of the derelict.
Captain, I'm this cosmic string. It feels like the derelict. It belongs, but it doesn't make sense.
And Bianca just turns around. She doesn't even take her chair. She just turns around at the science station. She goes, analysis.
Scanning now, Captain.
Oh, question. What's the countdown for feeling explosions?
5 minutes. If you're going to feel anything at all.
Okay.
Someone want to roll for Dauntless? And Jesus, Catalea, 2 natural ones.
I can roll for Dauntless. What's Dauntless rolling?
Sensor science. I guess. Sweet grief, Loof. Okay.
Well, it's not a complication.
It's not a complication, and you guys have 3 bonus momentum on top of being topped out. The cosmic string is moving through this region at about 1/3 the speed of light. It is shaped. It's about 2 light minutes across, which is rather small on the cosmological scale of things, but that does put it. Oh, let's see. That does put it at roughly 50 million kilometers in length.
Jeez.
Can we figure out what its relation to the derelict would be somehow?
Given the successes on Catalea's roll, you can tell it's approximately the same. It looks to have formed approximately the same age that the derelict was destroyed.
So it formed from the derelict's destruction?
That is an entirely plausible explanation.
Or it is the cause of the derelict's existence here.
Maybe we
Just
could work
because
on avoiding it.
I'm just a little. Sorry, go ahead.
Catalea just kind of looks over her console at Jonas when Shiana says that.
Two things.
Okay.
First thing, am I the only one who can see the little white speck in the middle of the map, or is that just my screen?
No, that's a star.
Oh, okay. Just wanted to be sure. I
That's
kept rubbing
something
at
that
my
I
screen.
put there just to make you all wonder if your screens needed to be cleaned or if you had a dead
Oh
pixel.
my
No,
god.
I'm kidding.
And two, would Jonas know whether it's possible to go around it or to navigate
It's
around to navigate?
it's a navigational hazard just like a black hole would be. So it has an event horizon. It has gravity. It is uh, yeah. Because Catalea was on the scanners, she was able to notify. Basically, she passed information to the Dauntless's helm and or to the Dauntless computers, and the Dauntless automatically pulled you guys out of warp
Okay.
before you hit it. It
Cap-
is directly in the path that you had plotted.
Captain, it would be remiss not to take scans and perhaps send a probe.
Agreed. Prepare probe for launch.
Hi, Captain.
Okay, what do you guys are you guys looking for anything in particular?
Mm,
We've got the 3 bonus momentum that we could use for doing something with the probe.
my main question is to see if there's an origin point for this. And maybe how long, like, I don't know if there's a way to determine how long it's. Wait, did we already find out? We already found out how long it's been here.
You know its approximate age.
Yeah. I just want to know more. Is that a valid thing to want?
It is, and if you can be specific, I can help.
Um, I
And
want to know, like, is it? I don't know how to ask these questions,
that's
but
okay. Just ask the best you can,
basically
and we'll get there.
I want to know, like, if it's like a quote unquote portal, if it's like an actual, like, if it was made
Like if
artificially, if it's a naturally occurring phenomenon, if like.
gotcha. Uh, okay, so in the portal to another universe department, the answer to that is probably not. Uh, however, give me an insight science roll.
Oh, good. To sell, please roll for that.
No, this is going to be for Dali. They were the ones. She was the one speaking.
God damn it! Why did I voice my question?
And the
Sorry,
base
you said insight science.
yes, insight science base difficulty is going to be 2.
Okay. May I give myself a focus and increase my complication range to get a focus in astrophysics? I would.
Astrophysics would work. Yes.
And may I buy an extra dice, please?
I'd like to buy a vowel.
Yep.
Yeah, go for it.
Yay! 3 successes.
Nicely done. Uh, cosmic strings can be used because of their two-dimensional nature for plotting, for potentially plotting time travel paths. In a similar manner to a slingshot around a star.
Mm. I'm just gonna very smartly exposit in character. But
Yeah,
go.
it's not something that might lead to another universe, but using the correct trajectory, one could plot a course to another time using it.
Oh,
So
Jonas just
you're
rubbed his
thinking that the
face.
derelict traveled through time potentially using this phenomenon.
Say that again?
Oh,
So could we posit whether or not the derelict traveled through time because of this phenomenon?
or they traveled through time, hit this phenomenon, and then broke apart, and that's why everything is temporally scrambled.
Let's pull up the old scientific method.
Oh boy. Yay! We haven't done this in a long time.
Oh, wow.
Hypothesis.
Wait, I don't think we've done this since I've been on the ship.
We did it when Mirror Dauntless showed up.
Oh, okay.
It was the last time we did it.
Okay, so you've made some observations, you've got some hypotheses. Uh, one being that this derelict encountered the object and traveled through time using it somehow. One being that the derelict was already traveling through time and encountered this, and that's why it broke apart. Um, do you guys have
Or
any other?
maybe it broke apart and traveled through time as a result of encountering this phenomenon.
Okay, and I'm going to make notes of these. Okay, so accidentally traveled through time using cosmic string, or I should say propelled through time. Travel encountered cosmic string while time traveling. And Sarah, can you restate the third hypothesis that you had?
I mean, they could have broken apart and traveled through time running into this thing.
So kind of both?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody?
Uh, they
That
could.
and that one seems the most plausible to me, that the cosmic string had both effects.
The other option is looking at that log. Is that something was being held off, and asteroids were. Asteroids were being flung from somewhere, and an asteroid belt was made around the time that. Ooh, this is weird. Is it a self-fulfilling paradox? Um, maybe whatever the quote unquote what I'm going to call the Fellathrix Starfleet were running from or dealing with was either caused by or influenced by this rather than the other way around.
So basically, this would have been what was forcing the Fellathrix to respond.
Yeah, basically.
Someone heating food?
I think Sarah is.
What?
Are you heating food?
Oh, sorry, I was running the sink.
No, it's fine. I was just wondering what the noise was.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Okay. Um, see. Okay, I've got to send you
Okay, so
guys.
I'm sorry. So
Go
out
ahead.
of character,
Mm-hmm.
sorry, has Dolly or Jonas else outside of their little conversation about the hypothesis about the Felothrix being um, temporal refugees? Because that has not been taken into account in any of these theories.
Dolly probably would have mentioned it in their report. Yeah.
And currently, Jonas hasn't had time to sit down and theorize with the captain about things. But if it was in the report, then she would know if she had time to read the report.
Bianca's probably read the report.
Okay, but it's not like a major conversation that we've had.
Not really, no.
Okay.
And it depends on if Shiana read the report because of her hinky feelings about time.
Rigel, get off your sister. Turd. Okay, so does anyone have any other hypotheses they would like to offer up?
I will also offer up the refugee hypothesis.
How would you connect it to the cosmic string?
That the Felothrix, or at least part of the Felothrix that were part of the quote unquote derelict,
Mm-hmm.
were flung from the either flung from or managed to escape from the destruction of the large vessel
Mm-hmm.
and ancestrally settled on the Felothrix homeworld and have been like growing from there from 100,000 years ago.
Okay.
So basically, the Battlestar Galactica option.
Yeah, basically the Battlestar Galactica. Thank you. Yes, thank you for summarizing.
All right. So, as the GM, I must inform you that none of these hypotheses are correct.
I love it. We're all so we're so dumb.
No, no, not at all. Just the opposite.
It's just I wish I had that fucking comic that is just the overthinking thing, and then it's like the overthinking the trap, and it's this is just us like making this way too complicated.
Oh,
No,
aren't we
it
all
is
guilty of
difficult, but
overthinking? Yes.
it is difficult, but it is going to take more data. You guys are going to have to find more in order to probably solve this.
Well, we still have the probe to send out.
That's true.
Send out probe.
Launch the probe!
Achoo!
Probing Uranus.
Oh my. Okay.
Do you
Dauntless.
ask first? Come on.
Apparently not when it's just a cosmic string. You're like, hey, how you doing, cosmic string? Up your butt. Uh, okay, you guys launch the probe. Heads in a trajectory toward the cosmic string. Uh, the telemetry looks like what you would expect. It begins to encounter some time dilation as it gets closer. Then, reaches the uh, as it reaches the event horizon of the cosmic string, the signals from it stop.
And that's consistent with like general.
It's consistent with general relativity.
Yeah. Okay. Just making sure. I failed ninth grade physics, so
Oh, it's fine.
um But what information did we gather from the basic?
So, this string, from what you can tell, is a fragment. But additionally, what you're able to tell from that is the original size of whatever formed this cosmic string probably had a radius of about 1 astronomical unit.
Jesus.
How big is that for someone who doesn't know what that means?
Really fucking big.
It's the size of Earth's orbit around the sun.
Good lord, okay.
Is that consistent? That is way too big to be consistent with the size of the put together derelict, right?
No.
Ah.
Depending on how much of the derelict's the parent object's mass was converted into a cosmic string, it's entirely feasible.
So wait, you're
Cause the cosmic string and not the other way around.
Say that again?
Did the derelict cause the cosmic string and not the other way around?
Given the size of the structure involved and the amount of energy that would have been involved in its destruction, you think it's entirely feasible.
Interesting. I will share this with the rest of the bridge.
So what destroyed it?
There's many things that from my extrapolation of the map earlier, is this the point where the gem originally was, or is it still further past this?
It's still
from
further
my
past
vision?
this because you all had to drop out of warp.
Okay.
Perhaps as part of a shockwave effect? Maybe it was bigger at one point and has been shrinking in size.
Like the galaxy's fixing itself or healing.
Attempting to, perhaps.
Catalea says, or just mass evaporating from the cosmic string, Hawking radiation.
Do you want to stay here and continue studying this, Captain, or do you want me to try and move around?
I think we're starting to kind of piece things together, and this is just one piece of the puzzle.
I was just about to say that. I think the more pieces we find, the more things will start to make sense. The
Agreed.
more pieces of the jewel that we find, everything will start to become clear.
Isn't there a children's story about finding a bread house?
You mean, Hansel and Gretel?
Is that what it is? That's an odd name for a kind of bread.
No. That's the name of the two children in the story who find a house made of gingerbread and candy where a witch lived inside.
And they were following stones or something.
They were following a breadcrumb trail, I believe.
I just nod sagely, like, yep, I got the metaphor.
Okay. So question from the navigator: is it easy to navigate around this thing? Like, do we need to go up and over? Because I'm assuming we don't want to go through it.
You do not want to go through it. The Enterprise D encountered a cosmic string once, and bad things happened.
Jeez.
So
Okay.
is that a yes or a no?
That is a you want to go around, and we'll call it a class 2 navigational hazard. So it's going to be, I'm going to call it a difficulty 3 to maneuver around and set a new course.
Can Bianca assist?
Yes.
All right.
Would my Pathfinder talent come into play here?
Um, Let me check that talent. Yes.
Okay, so from my Pathfinder talent, I can reduce the difficulty of the task by 1, 2, or 3 to a minimum of 1, but each point that I reduce the difficulty by increases the complication range of the task.
Correct. That is something you could do here. Also, your astronavigation focus would apply.
And I would be rolling Control Con?
Yes. And structure con
Alright.
for the Dauntless.
Okay, I think I'll go ahead and if it's difficulty, you said difficulty 4 or 3?
3. And that's
3.
taking into account your familiarity with the Carina Nebula.
Okay. Should I try and use my talent or just ignore it for now?
I mean, I'm helping you, so.
Okay, if the captain's
And
helping, I will.
the ship is helping too.
Yep.
Yeah, I will forego using my talent ability,
Okay.
but I will grab a momentum for an extra dice for cautious con.
Okay. There's 3.
Wow.
Here's complication.
Way to go, Bianca.
You're rolling like we're playing D&D or something.
I know, right?
Who's got
Except I
Dauntless?
can't roll 20s when I when I play D&D.
Right.
I've got Dawn.
Okay.
I would like to get rid of that complication.
Okay.
I mean, it's still a successful task roll, so you're not going to fail.
I just don't want to come across any unforeseen we get snagged or something.
Well, Dauntless just got your momentum back, so there it is.
Yay!
Okay, the course plotted and laid in.
Alright.
And Dauntless goes back to warp.
So where we're headed to right now, Captain, the extrapolation I gave you earlier, it's supposed to be the origin point for the crystal before the gem before it exploded, and
Hmm.
supposedly created the nebula in my vision.
Hmm.
And oh wait, do we know about the lore yet? That I cannot say her name.
Plakir.
Fakir, thank you.
You're welcome.
Uh, was that shared with the rest of us, or was that just shared with?
She just gave it to the captain.
Okay, then never mind.
I mean, Bianca will bring it up, but only if she thinks it's relevant, which she doesn't at this stage.
Okay.
And if it is relevant, she hasn't connected 1 and 2 together.
Bianca's here to look pretty and sometimes drive a ship.
Bianca, well,
And kick ass.
Bianca is smart in her ways. She's not like. She's like, okay, anthropology, woo. She's very much like, how Pike is, where he's just like, okay, tell me that in English. Tell me that in English.
Or O'Neill, for that matter, from Stargate SG-1.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I got that reference.
Okay. Does anyone want to do anything before we do a scene change?
Nope.
Okay,
I'm good.
so we will bring the Dauntless out of warp. And I'm somewhat limited on my backgrounds, so I'm just going to reuse this one.
Captain, we're back at the cosmic string somehow.
Oh my god, I should have done that to y'all. Oh well. Maybe if you cut that complication.
That's why I got rid of it.
We just went in a giant circle.
No, we
Space. Not
thought
only
we
is
were
space fucked,
moving.
but so is space. Like, not only is time fucky around here, but so is space.
We thought we were moving. We just weren't.
Or you were moving and
The
space
universe was
wrapped
moving
around
with us.
itself.
Oh dear God.
Mobius double reach around. Sorry, that's a reference that no one else is gonna get, but that's fine.
Did you see Endgame? Is that what you're saying?
No.
No. Because some people haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
There
It's
we
not
go.
a
Well, at least
spoiler
give you
that I
guys a
asked that
different view.
question, okay, guys?
And I need to make it a little bit larger so that that little ship in the bottom left corner goes away. Stand by. There we go. That's better. Okie dokie. You find yourselves here. I'm going to have Catalea do a scan. Science heavy as this episode has been, I kind of miss having a science officer for you guys. Someone give me sensor science for the Dauntless, though.
Ooh, okay. Can she re-roll? She might want to re.
She didn't take a momentum, so no. Okay, that makes it difficulty and gains a momentum. The region itself seems quiet, Captain, she says. I'm not picking any anomalies up in the area.
We have arrived at the coordinates that Jonas created, right?
Yes.
And it's quiet and there's nothing
Extending the
about.
range of my scan now. Nothing within 5 light years.
Captain,
Yes, Lieutenant.
permission to listen.
We're not in the mirror universe.
Well, I feel still obligated to ask, just in case. So, Jonas is gonna try and listen and see if he can hear anything.
Okay. This is going to be Insight Con. I'm going to make the difficulty 3 for this roll.
Okay. I'm going to grab a dice for Cautious Con. My attunement focus will apply.
Yep.
Oh, I get to re-roll that 0. Haha.
Okay.
Really?
Welp.
It's
It
just
was
one
it,
over.
It was one lower. Yeah, I know.
Yep. You can... You concentrate, and for a moment you swear you can feel something just tugging at the edge of your consciousness, but like a wet snake, you just can't seem to grasp it.
There's
I'm gonna look.
something.
Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
There's something there, Captain, but I can. It's just at the edge. I can't get a hold of it.
I'm gonna look to Catalea. Is it possible to run scans into subspace or ultra dimensional space? Because Lieutenant Cardin first experienced this vision when we were traversing through the mycelial network.
I can attempt to scan subspace. Stand by. I'm going to make this difficulty 4 for her. You guys
Oh,
want her to take
jeez.
Can
momentum?
I assist?
Yeah, take a momentum.
Yes, you can assist.
While his scan
Uh,
is going on, Bianca's going to ask Placer, Placer, what star went missing in that legend you were telling me about?
I suspect, Captain, it was the Class D planet that we found with the derelict.
Hmm.
Alright, here is Catalea's roll. That's 3, so we need an assist and we need a roll from Dauntless.
what's Dauntless rolling?
Sensor science?
Sorry, that was Inside Science, man.
I don't think Tassel would have made it with a 16 either.
Oh, yeah, no. Oh, wait, no, I wasn't rolling as Tassel, I was rolling as Dolly.
Oh, okay. Well,
But yeah, Tassel wouldn't have made it.
okay. Catalea has cautious science.
Okay, yeah. What? Seriously,
She says,
that's a 16, a 17, and an 18.
yep. She says, I'm picking up something, but the sensors can't. The sensors are not able to resolve it, Captain.
Would Bianca? So Bianca's going to just kind of like rack her brain to see like if there's any creative solutions that
Mm-hmm.
might pop out. What
Um,
would I have to roll for that?
let's do insight science since we're doing science here.
Can I use my astronavigation focus? It's kind of astrophysicsy.
Yeah, actually, I'll say yes on that.
I'm gonna take a momentum.
Okay, and I'm going to set the
Go for
difficulty here at 3.
it. Do you have any dailies that would apply?
Well, I don't have. Let me see. Trust your instincts. That would work.
Okay, if you want to use your determination, then yeah, that's a good value to call upon.
Okay.
Alternately, never tell me the odds.
Ooh, goose egg.
Okay, that is 4 successes on a difficulty 3 roll. Um,
Can we burn that thing, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's burn it.
okay,
Burn it.
leaves you with 1 momentum, and oh, I'm going to Google something real quick, so bear with me.
we overshot all of Don's plans, and now he's having to scramble and make the game up on the fly.
No,
I
it's
feel
fine.
so
It's good.
accomplished.
Um,
It's because we left the planet behind.
Gosh.
hmm. Well, that's some technobabble, all right. Um, but yes, Bianca does have an idea. Uh, you
See, not just a pretty face.
It would, however, involve creating a subspace rift. You would basically have to create an anomaly opening into subspace to get a better scan of subspace and then close the anomaly behind you.
How difficult is that?
Pretty difficult. The last time a subspace rift was opened on purpose, it was done by a warp core breach.
Good.
Hashtag this is fine.
Um, Captain,
Yeah.
I'm aware that it doesn't quite work the same as Jonas's ability, Lieutenant Cardin's ability. Can you hear anything?
I don't listen to the universe, I listen to people.
And you can't sense anything here.
Yeah, Bianca's gonna try.
All right, yeah, let's do Insight Command.
Okay. Will my composure focus apply?
There's not really any extenuating circumstances here, so I'm going to say no.
Okay.
I'll call it difficulty 2.
Okay. I'm gonna take that last momentum.
Okay. And you get your momentum right back. Spend it to get it. You just kind of reach out for a moment and no, nothing out there.
No one out there.
No one out there. True.
I mean, Tacella's down for ripping a hole.
The only silver lining to the amount of power required is it would not necessarily take a warp core breach from the Dauntless. The warp core breach that created the subspace rift in 2370 was a much smaller vessel.
So we have to use the levels.
Or a shuttlecraft.
Yeah, let's do the shuttlecraft.
Do we need it to be? Are we blowing it up, or are we just piloting it, or what?
You could just eject their warp core and just blow it up. Set it to detonate. Keep the shuttle
Okay.
intact, but destroy the core.
Okay, so that's how we open it. Do we know how to close it?
There is another method, actually, and I'm sorry because I'm just now reading this. Um, Isolytic weapons could create a subspace tear. Of
You
course,
mean the
So,
ones banned by the Kitamura Accords?
the exact weapons that are banned by the Kitamura Accords, yes.
We wouldn't have access to those kinds of weapons, would we?
No, I
And
don't
she kind of
suspect you
looks
would.
pointedly at Shiana.
Shanna whistles innocently.
Okay. But my other question stands. Once we open it, do we know how to close it?
I think another warp core breach. Right?
The the subspace rift that was created by the warp core breach was never sealed.
Well, the one that was created by the Sona with their isolytic weapons was sealed by a warp core breach.
That is true.
So we'd have to throw 2 warp cores at this thing.
And one would have to be the Dauntless's spare warp core.
Okay. Okay.
May I advise against getting rid of our spare warp core?
Yeah, you don't have to tell me twice.
Be right back, by the way.
Okay. There's got to be another way.
All of us. But how?
I mean, I used my daily earlier. I wish I had the veteran talent. I'm over 200 years old. So I should have the veteran talent.
You might be old, but you might not be a Starfleet veteran.
No, yeah, that's the reason I don't have it. I mean, could we try scanning again, but with just a higher difficulty?
Perhaps we have to wait for Dawn to get back.
Hmm. And if we did that,
Oh,
the
I can
ship
use the
would.
direct action to tell her to scan again.
What does the direct action do again?
Giselle can scan!
Yeah,
Giselle
Giselle
can
can scan.
Does that give Tassel like a bonus or anything?
Yeah, I assist using command, and that kicks in my advisor talent, which means that you can re-roll any one die.
Okay. And Tassel is good at scanning subspace?
Giselle's good at science.
Better
Okay.
than me or you.
Alright, hang on a second, y'all, because I had a moment of inspiration, and I'm going to see if Catalea also gets a moment of inspiration.
I'm going to. I mean, if that doesn't work, we have a plan.
Okay, well, let me hear your plan first.
Well, I was going to use my direct action to direct Cecile to scan subspace.
Okay. Catalea's thought is, when you guys mentioned the level, an idea began to kind of percolate through her head. What if we use, and she speaks up, Captain, what if we use the level on the Dauntless's sensors in to kind of try and triangulate, to use a triangulated subspace scan?
That could work.
Using engineering or con, is it possible for me to help add on to that idea and make it better?
What'd you have in mind? Or is that what the
I'm
roll's
I'm
for?
just That's what the role's for.
Okay.
I do not have enough player knowledge to add anything to
Nope,
that.
that's fine, and I am totally okay with like these characters have been through Starfleet Academy. They know shit. So yeah, let's have you do um, Insight Con, and we'll call it difficulty 2.
Okay, would any of my focuses apply? Home
Um,
operations, small craft.
Helm operations and small craft focuses.
Okay, does anybody mind if I take the last momentum for cautious con?
Go ahead.
And what's the target number?
Difficulty 2.
Really?
You have cautious.
Okay, I will do cautious and re-roll that Z.
Okay, that's a
Yeah.
little better, isn't it?
That's a lot better.
You went from a natural 20 to a natural 4. Um, you think you know the best positioning for the level that would give your two ships the best resolution scan?
Captain, I'm pretty sure I know exactly where the level would have to be piloted to in order to get the best scan. If I have your permission, I would like to be aboard the level to pilot it.
Go ahead.
Cuddly
I've got her
says,
up here.
uh, Plakier says, Captain, permission to accompany him. Sensor
Granted.
ops. She
Actually, I'm going to send to Cell too.
Tassel can stay aboard the. Oh, Catalea is staying aboard the Dauntless.
yeah, Catalea is staying aboard the Dauntless. Plakir just gives Cheyenne a kind of a pat on the shoulder on her way to the turbolift.
As he's getting up from his station, uh, Jonas will give a nod and a wave to Dali and head for the lift.
Okay. Uh, you all managed to undock the level and separate it. You pilot it out pretty easily to a point about, I'm going to say about 70,000 kilometers out from the Dauntless. And yeah, that's when you realize, Jonas, that you've reached the best position for the scan.
Awesome. All right, we're in position, and then I will send a open communications with the Dauntless. We're in position, Captain.
Very good, Lovell.
This is his first time getting to pilot the level. He's very
Ship's not
happy.
shown to scale. Okay, so Catalea is going to make the main role on this. Who is assisting from the level? Will that be Tassel?
Tassel can assist. What is she roll?
It'll be Reason Science.
Would either EPS or computers apply?
No.
Okay, that's fine.
Does the level need to roll anything?
The level will get to roll, and the Dauntless will get to roll. It'll be Sensor Science for both of them. And the difficulty here is going to be 3.
Oof. Okay.
May I use my testing the theory talent for this?
What successful rolls have you made up to this point on the subspace?
Oh right, never. No, I've been doing it. Never mind.
No worries. No worries. Catalea is taking a momentum, however.
That's fine.
All right, so there's 2. Who's got Dauntless? That's 3.
Oh, poor level.
It's all right. It's just the level. And Dauntless? Sarah, why don't you roll that one?
Sure, Sensor Science.
Sensor Science. Okay, 4 successes. With the level and the Dauntless in position in the ideal positions for a detailed scan of subspace in this area, Catalea overlays it on the bridge screen on the Dauntless and feeds it to the level as well. What you guys see is for lack of a better word, a crater in subspace, the size of a star, surrounded by concentric rings, going out from that point out to one astronomical unit, out to 1 AU from the central point. The contours of the... Oop, we just lost someone from Roll20. Kate, was that you? You there?
Yeah, just me. I'm popping back in.
Okay, no worries. The contour of the scarring at that outer edge matches precisely the contour of the cosmic string you encountered earlier.
What am I looking at?
I believe we found our diamond.
The origin point.
The origin point of what?
Well, if my vision, whatever it is to be believed, this is the origin point for the creation of this nebula.
And the derelict is responsible.
And that's where we end the episode.
Now Bianca's like,